pain in the butt to shuffle. Oh my Lanta. Hello everyone and welcome back to the table. My name is Liz.
My name's Devin.
And we are
BoardGameHype. And in this channel we talk about two-player games.
Games from a two-player perspective.
That's something new we're trying. You know, it is what it is. But yeah, we're going to help you discover new games from a unique two-player's perspective. Today we're going to help you discover
Ecosystem.
Designed by Matt Simpson and published by Genius Games. In the ecosystem, you're going to build your own ecological network in an ecosystem, a biologically derived card drafting game. Players choose, pass, and arrange 11 different card types, looks like a 2 there, consisting of organisms ranging from bees to bears and environments like streams and meadows. Earn points by aligning animals with habitats where they most flourish. Biodiversity is rewarded while monocultures are penalized. Each time you play, you build a one-of-a-kind ecosystem, striving to balance the delicate connections between all living things.
I feel like I just sat through like an episode of the show Nature on IPTV. Like
Mic drop. I'm gonna pass it over to you and you're gonna tell them a little bit about the game and how it plays.
Okay, so a little bit about this game. Setup wise, it's very, very simple. Essentially, each person playing, if there's 2 people playing, you do have to have a
neutral deck. Neutral player.
That's what we call him, Fred.
We call him Fred.
So you have to have a Fred. But essentially what you're gonna do, you get these little cards, teeny tiny little cards. You are gonna shuffle them up. Each person's gonna get 10. You're gonna look at your cards. You will select one, place it face down in front of you. The goal is to make a 4x5 grid.
Yes.
And that is going to make your ecosystem. The other cool thing you get throughout this game is a reference card.
Cool thing, it's kind of necessary.
It's wildly necessary in order to be successful. So every animal, every environment has different scoring conditions and different things you need to meet. Just like when you think about a real ecosystem.
Yeah.
Like if you're a real ecosystem, if you're a bear, you want to be next to the trout. Now as a trout, do you want to be next to the bear? No, I probably want to be in a big stream to swim away from the bear. So
I can't swim.
To float aggressively, I guess.
Anyways.
You can kind of swim.
Okay, I could kind of swim.
You like doggy paddle. So there are, essentially this outlines every way you score points, and then at the end of the game you're going to play 2 rounds essentially. Yes. So you will lay 10 cards, then you get an additional 10, you're going to lay another 10 by taking a card, flipping it over, passing the deck, getting a new deck.
So it's the main mechanism is a drafting game.
Thank you, that's the word for that.
Yeah, that's the word for it. So your 10 cards, you're gonna pick one, reveal it at the same time, so simultaneously. Yes. And while you do that, you also have to make sure the neutral deck, aka Fred, also flips their card over, puts it in their ecosystem.
Builds a grid.
To build a grid, because you're kind of gonna be defeating. You're scoring along
against it for some of like the
yeah.
longest or most or those kinds of things.
Yeah. So you're gonna keep doing that over the course of 2 rounds, and then after 2 rounds, whoever scores the most points wins the game. If you've ever played Cascadia, it's very similar to this in a way.
It's kind of like a appetizer version of Cascadia.
Yes, that's a very good way to put it. An appetizer version of Cascadia.
Similar themes, similar kind of like things that need to jive, I guess, together, and like
jump jiving, and your way you gotta jump.
Synergies, that's
synergies,
the word I'm
that
looking
is the
for.
word. Yes, good word. Very good word.
There's similar synergy kind of ideas, but obviously 2 very different games.
Yeah, so that's how you play Ecosystem. Let's dive into the review portion, things we like, what we don't like. Explain our review system.
I would love to. So we rate on a scale of 5. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. 5 being hyped up, amazing, awesome. This is, you know, something that is a top 10 game for us. 4 means it's really good. It's above average. Maybe there were a couple things we didn't like, but overall very, very good experience. 3 means solid. It's an average game. Yep. We'll play it. We're not necessarily going to fight for it as much. A 2 is kind of like, it's okay. It's not great.
Not the best, not the worst.
Like, you know, room for improvement.
And then 1
a 1 is called Fell Square is what we call it, which I don't even think we've had any games rate at a 1.
So far.
So far. That's not a challenge. So yeah, yes. And then we rate in 5 categories. So if you want to kick us off with your first category.
Okay, well, halt. Before we move on, leave us a comment below what you think we're gonna rate this game. Do we rate this a 2? Do we rate this a 3? Based on what you know about us so far through our videos. Now, moving on. First thing we're gonna rate is components and accessibility. And that is everything you see here, from the box to the style and the type of components. I gave it a 4. I think everything is all around fine. I don't dislike the small cards. I know exactly that's where she's gonna go with this. I like smaller cards. I like cards in general. I think the quality of just that matte core is totally fine. And I think the box fine. So 4.
Okay. Well, I rated it a 2.
What?
And the reason being, he already alluded to it. These tiny cards, they are adorable. They are so cute. I'm not saying they're not cute. They are the biggest pain in the butt to shuffle. Oh my Lanta. You got like 200 cards here, and to shuffle them, you gotta like, either like, or you gotta like make a big old mess.
Make a big old mess. 52 card pickup.
And so
100 and something card pickup.
104. The rest of the components I love. I love that it's portable. I love that you don't need a giant footprint for it, but I can't get over the mini cards.
Okay. Well, strong feelings. Let's move on to theme and story.
I rated this at a 4.
Nice.
I think the theme, it's so there. You really do feel like you're building an ecosystem and you're trying to like balance all these things. And it makes me really glad we don't build ecosystems in real life, because I know I'm
always like, oh, I'm gonna miss that animal. Bad ecosystem.
Oh,
but
buddy.
Yeah, so I gave it a 4 as well. I love the theme behind it. I love the story. As you've seen before, probably, we're really big into nature. So this is a game that kind of goes really well along our games. So 4 for me, 4 for you.
4.
Move on.
Alrighty, so artwork and graphic design is going to be our next one. I initially rated this a 3, but I'm feeling more like a 4 the more I look at it. I'm still swayed by my tiny card hatred. But I do love the overall like artwork and graphic design. I think it's very cool.
I think the artwork is cute and adorable and everything. As far as graphic design, the only graphic design there is the card itself. Yeah. Really, I mean, obviously the box. But,
nice.
But outside of that, I think this card alone is really easy to understand and know exactly what you need to store or score. So I gave it a 4 myself.
There we go. Alrighty, and then gameplay and mechanisms.
I also gave this a 4. I love drafting, so I have no dislike towards it. The only thing reason why I didn't rate it a 5 is because that third character with that neutral Fred character.
Gosh dang Fred.
The upkeep of having to do that every turn. I know it's small.
You always get stuck with it too.
It's always me.
The order we play in, it's always you. I've never had to deal with Fred.
So it's really frustrating because I'm trying to focus on my scoring, but I have to flip over Fred's card. And, it's like, okay, I don't want to do this. It's kind of frustrating to me. So I give it a 4.
Yeah, I also rated it a 4. I think it's really, really solid. You've definitely taught me to enjoy drafting games. Yes. I think they're fun. The first couple times I would say we played a drafting game, I was like, what, you want me to do what now? But now I really, really like them.
Okay, moving on to the last point of emphasis is experience and feelings. So how did you enjoy the game? Did you have fun? Did we not have fun, etc.? I gave an all-around 4 for me. I have a lot of fun when I play this game. It's not like a 5 out of 5 where it's the best thing ever, but I'm very happy to play this all the time.
Yeah, I also rated it a 4. Great game, love getting it to the table. It plays fast, which is great. Like, it's a great game night opener or game night closer, I feel like. Because it's very, like...
It's very calm,
casual, it's relaxing, and it's good. We focus on 2-player perspective. We have played it at more than that as well, and I think the experience was still very good.
I think it's going back to that, does it play well at 2 players? 100%.
Absolutely.
I think it does.
I think so.
Because it's so easy to get to the table, and we can bust it out on a road trip or something. And so my overall hype rating was 4.
Which puts it in the, mine was also 4.
So that puts it in the hyped up. Hyped up. Hyped up. Yes, final thoughts and conclusion. Ecosystem is a very good game, especially for those who love animals, who love the environment. The mechanisms go really well together, and I think it flows overall as a good game.
And I think it's a great game to get someone into more hobby board gaming. Yes. I think it's a great game to gift, like fantastic, holiday gift or things like that. Good, and really it says ages 14 plus, so even like, teenagers and those kinds of things, like family game night, I think it would definitely work.
Exactly. Yeah, so that has been a review of Ecosystem by Genius Games. My name is Devin.
And I'm Liz.
And we are BoardGameHype, and We hope to see you in the next video where we're gonna talk about the top 10 portable games in our collection. So,
Pack and play.
Speaking of travel, we're gonna go travel to a national park and find our own ecosystem. Bye-bye.